truth.
Alrighty then. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. How's everything going out there? I don't know. I'm just going to make up as I go along. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. The government told me what day it is, so I'm going to tell you. It's April 17th. It's a Friday, 2026. You might as well just go with it. I mean, what are you going to do? You don't want the truth, do you? Anyway, all right, guys. Well, good to see everybody out there. Good to see ya. There are rumblings. Actually, here in Wichita, we got a little storm rolling through right now, a little squall line pushing. It'll turn into tornadoes going up north of us here very soon towards the Kansas City and parts of Missouri area. So those of you that are in that area, please be mindful tonight. Yeah, at 4 o'clock, about 3 o'clock this afternoon, they started firing off just west of Wichita. We had to let rain roll through. So we are dealing with that. But, yeah, be mindful of that and know that there's storms. I mean, I don't know why we have to make it like we know storms. Like, people, it's like everybody's got phones, TVs, and then we've got sirens everywhere now. And they'd be like, oh, it doesn't always go off. Well, come on, guys. You knew it was storming. Anyway. So that's going on. And now there are some conversations out there in the real world talking about how there is a Strait of Hormuz, I don't know, something like that. I was trying to read up on it. I have no idea what this stuff is. It's just crazy. Anyway, no, they're saying the Strait of Hormuz is going. Oh, I'm not collecting all my comments. What are you doing, Restream? You're not doing your J-O-O-O-B-B-B-B-B-B-B. So anyway, so that's going on. There's some peace thing going on there in Iran. They're going to not do enrich uranium indefinitely. It means that they're never, ever, 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 ever. We're never going to do it, and so we're going to try to be really good, and you guys can come look at our stuff, and it'll be great, and we'll share, and, you guys are like, hey, Courtney Allen, good to see you. Guys, by the way, Courtney Allen needs some love. She's going through a lot with her animals right now. I'm not going to go into a lot of that, but, guys, send Courtney Allen some love. She's dealing with some tragedy right now, so I want you guys to know that and spill it on her. Spill your love on Courtney, or however that song goes. I don't think it's a song. All right, so, yeah, that's a thing. So there is going to be continued talks, I guess, between now and sometime either Sunday or Monday morning, maybe even Tuesday. We're going to hear about the actual peace, whatever, and it's going to get signed, and J.D. Vance will raise his hand in victory, and we'll all sing Kumbaya with our s'mores, where we have our puffs of sugar called marshmallows with our graham crackers so we can all go to the bathroom more regularly, and some chocolate because Hershey doesn't make chocolate anymore. We'll sit around and eat that and say the world is a better place. Now, I'm going to say something. Let me drink my coffee. I mean that. And when I told you guys I want to go vacation Iran, I really mean that as well, because here's the thing. You can sit around and clutch your pearls and worry about, oh, yeah, I just don't know. Hey, Hope, good to see you. I don't know what the world's going to bring. There's nuclear war. Well, there's going to be no nuclear war. People, when people run around and they make claims of nuclear war and all these other things, and they make it sound like it's going to happen tomorrow or it is happening, well, they've gone too far, just like when they told you to stay home for 2 weeks and to flatten the curve. So we've got a situation where governments lie to each other, and we lie to our people, and the people lie to, we all lie to each other, right? So we can't be honest about what we really do or what we really have, or the UAPs or the aliens under the water or sleeping at night because of whatever disclosure. Now, did you guys know that Iran just entered into a peace agreement? We just talked about that a little yesterday. Now, Iran just entered a peace agreement with another country, Lebanon. Now, why did they need to do that? Hey, but listen, hey. Why did they need to have peace with Lebanon? They weren't doing anything to Lebanon. If anything, Israel was doing it to Lebanon. You want to talk about that? Oh, you mean the terrorist attacks that Hamas or the Houthis or the Yermanimis or the Bukabukas or the ICs or ISILs or ISIL, whatever Uncle Barry name came up with there at the end because he's so cool. Just love it. My point is guys, that there's a lot of things I think we're gonna see come out of this, and I want you to point to one thing now. What is Trump the best at doing? When people come after him, people make fun of things, people do things, they're a little bit of braggadocious, a little self-centered, whatever. Now, hey, Maggie O'Leary's here. What's up? Who, now listen, the Abraham Accords, remember that was from the first presidency. Remember there's been this whole thing about, Jared Kushner, he's a juice box, and he, and so, yeah, he's, that's why, and everything. I don't think juice box is going to be around much longer. I don't think Jared Kushner is going to be around much longer. I think what we're going to find out is that Jared Kushner got it wrong, and he's going to have to be kicked off the island. He's going to have to get... You're fired. So that's a cool thing, right? And see, remember how we've had the rumblings of people like, there's certain people that he kind of puts out there, pencil neck shift. He kind of went after him really hard for some reason, right? But we still have the Standard Hotel, Adam. You got to talk about Standard Hotel, Adam Schiff. Anyway. Whether that's hearsay or whether it's made up or I'm just imagining it, it doesn't sound real good. But the problem is that we had old Swallow Whale, and he got himself in trouble, and there's some other stuff. But I think there's some things that are gonna come out of this. And I think we're gonna see a lot more people being replaced in this coming months. And I don't think a lot of people after the midterm elections are gonna be around. By the way, Jasmine Crockett, we talked about her a little bit yesterday. I wanted to remind you guys, listen, she is in negotiations with law firms, but she's not going to be working full time. Pray for me. Monday's my birthday. I'll be having surgery April 20th. Well, Maggie, what are you doing? Like, you're doing a lot of, that's a lot. So happy birthday. Monday's her birthday. Happy birthday. Happy 27th birthday. And then you're going to have surgery on the 20th. So that's like cool. Anyway, Jasmine Crockett, the black lady from Texas, she put out a video with these really thick glasses and annoying as hell. Man, I'm going to tell you right now, if she was my lawyer, even if court appointed, I'd be like, I'm guilty. Just get me out of here. But who's going to really take her serious? Who's going to really pay her to be your lawyer? And by the way, a lot of the ghetto that we got in the at the arm rail in Congress, where she was over giving the rah, 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 and getting on the mic, and she was throwing some stuff out there. Well, on her videos, she seems to be talking just like this. I will be doing some lawyering soon, and I hope to be able to have a flexible schedule so I can go on my book tour, because I'm working on my book very diligently now, and I know that I'll be paid out through my book tour, so I want to get paid. Isn't it funny how my voice changed? And I all of a sudden sounded like this the whole time. And that's how I want to sound because I don't want to sound all ghetto. Jasmine. Aren't you the one that went after like Margie Taylor Greene or one of the one of the ones? I mean, anyway. Oh, by the way, Margie Taylor Greene is not coming out on the right side of history on a few of these things. Freezing my breast tumor. I call it Marvin. Rest in peace, Marvin. Ooh, sorry to hear that. All right. So we're going to continue on. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of make sure we all understood where Jasmine was landing at. She is back in tech. Well, she has about 280 days or 260 days of Congress left. Like, she only has until January 20th. And then she's no longer, January 19th, she's no longer a congresswoman. But anyway, we'll see how that all boils down. But anyway. All right. What we got here? Eddie, what's up? When money is involved, the ghetto leaves your mouth real quick and in a hurry. Hey, Ken. Canetti, what are you doing, man? She should ask her friend Fannie Willis for a good lawyer. Hey, you only said Fannie Willis because you're thinking of her butt. Guys, listen. That's some. I get it now. I really do. Now, listen, I am not trying to be. I'm like, this is whatever. I don't know what this means. I'm going to say, I'm trying not to be like, hey, I'm smarter than you. But when you do see the dummies talking now, and the first thing I wanted to say, well, these low-level thinkers, right? And I've said that. I always try to refer like, hey, he's a dummy. Like, hey, he just doesn't, he's a low-level thinker. He's not, that's how I always think of it, right? Like, they're low IQ, low-level thinkers. And I just don't appreciate it, I guess. It's like, it just gets old. And I try to avoid things or conversations like that. Let's see what we've got here. One of the what do you call it? Astronauts that went around the backside of the moon. Now, guys, I want to ask you something here. I seem to remember the Apollo 13 mission going behind the moon. They slingshotted around the moon. Remember that? Why do we keep talking about these guys are the first ones on the backside of the moon? Someone needs guys, listen. Some of you guys may or may not have been around or may not know this stuff, but how is it that they keep saying Artemis is the first crew behind the moon and the first one to take photos behind the moon? Like, didn't we do that with getting the astronauts up, off, and then using the gravitational spin to get them back to Earth? Isn't that what we did? I mean, I don't know. I don't mean to act like again, I'm trying to act like I'm smart here. I'm not a low-level thinker, but I am thinking a question out loud here that they kept saying Artemis. Anyway, so the Artemis, one of the dudes, the white guy, he said, well, I'm not real religious, but after doing that, I wept when I saw the cross on the chaplain's lapel. And, I don't know, guys. But there's a lot of people who've gone out there, and Maggie O'Leary says Apollo did it first. See, I was under that impression too. But there's been some people picking at and pulling on and all that of all the spacewalk stuff and all the different videos, and then the Artemis people, and then how there was one question I saw out there is like, how did the NASA logo not get burnt, but yet the rest of the spacecraft was all charred? Anyway, just little things like that. I don't know. You think they'd get better at it, but they're not. I was around back then, says Maggie. Well, Maggie, I wouldn't say you're a day over 27. That's my opinion, but we all have opinions, right? So, thank you for bearing with me on my coffee today. I do appreciate that. Needed a little coffee yesterday. I was kind of dragging a little bit trying to get through the different stuff. All right. Now, okay, let's read this article. And this article is going to be a little dated because things have come out and things have changed a lot here in the last, little bit or whatever. But the article goes, Euro globalists meet in Paris to discuss the Strait of Hormuz. But Iran has already opened the waterway, and Trump discards the participation of the paper tigers. Well, yeah, these are people that didn't get involved with the blockades, didn't get involved with the things to take care of this or that, and allowed America to go out and do what it does best, which is just kicking in doors and taking names, right? That's kind of what we've done, and I'm tired of it. We're good at it, but I'm tired of it. Okay? But let's do it for the right reasons, because someone is out of line, not because we want to do this, what we've been doing. And Israel, the country of Israel, needs to have they need to have a little day of reckoning, because just like us, we want our country to have full disclosure. We want our country to tell the truth. Well, you know what? We demand that excellence at home, but we demand that from the world. That's it. That's not negotiable. See, right there, it's like if you're willing, like, well, they got their, I just do you and all that. I'm like, Kennedy says, have you ever tried mushroom coffee? Yeah, I have. And not that impressed. And the sad thing is that I do about I was only doing like 6 ounces of coffee in the morning. This is like 10 ounces. I probably won't drink all of this. For me, I don't drink multiple cups. The 1 cup I had to get one of those little heater things so it would keep the bottom of the cup warm, because the coffee would just get flat cold. I would not get it drank before it got cold. And so what I've done is I'm trying to use that heater to help keep my coffee warm so I can have it a little bit longer, because I don't drink barely any coffee. I know people that'll do this cup. Excuse me, sir. They'll do this cup, 4 times, 5 times, and this is 12 ounces. If you get this pretty full up in here, that's 12 ounces. And I've seen people, stayed at my house 4 or 5 of these in the morning, every morning. So I'm like, at 12 ounces, I'm like, oh my God. So for me, I just do very little. For me, I don't need a lot of it. So it's just been just a little thing for me. So, the coffee, I used to do like a frou-frou coffee. I did for like 20 years. Now this guys, I confess, hey, I tell you guys about what I do and what I've done. 20 years. Started in 2001, 2002. I was doing a job in Tempe, Arizona. And if you go there, I think I may have posted the videos or the photos of it, but I did a fountain outside of City Hall, and I did some architectural concrete and some other work, and so there was a Starbucks, and I said, hey, can I get a coffee around here? Like, and they're like, oh, hey, there's a coffee shop right over there. And I had never, in 2001 or 2002, maybe it was 2002. Yeah, it was 2002 at that time. Because it was after 9/11. It was the spring of that. And I'm like, okay. So I go in there, and I'd never been to a Starbucks, didn't know what the thing was or how it all worked or anything. And I walk in there, and I'm like, hey, I was just needing a coffee. He goes, well, what do you like to drink? I'm like, I don't know, coffee. And at that point, I had really never had anything coffee other than just some sugar and some cream. But I was always a lot of sugar, a lot of cream. Anyway, I started drinking a grande white mocha, and I drank those for 20 years. Almost, I would say, guys, I had a 90% success rate, at least one of those a day for 20 years. So in 2021, when Starbucks was doing all their stuff and all that, and I went to the Starbucks down here, and I was still going there, right? I was just getting my little blonde roast, put a little cinnamon in it, no sugar, nothing. I had gotten to that point. And when they did the whole shutdown and all that and just got real stupid on everything, I quit going there. And I quit drinking my Grande White Mochas. I mean, I guess it took that, me seeing, that tyrannical effect where they were willing to go into people's lives, but I just quit drinking them. And I don't miss it. I didn't have, withdrawals or anything, because usually my Grande White Mocha, I would drink about half of it. And by the time I got to halfway, it was so cold. I was sipping it around lunch because I'd have it in my truck or at the desk or whatever, and I just was never this big drinker on it. So anyway... but then after that, I went to just straight black brewed coffee. I have learned that I especially like Illy, ILLY coffee. If they'd like to sponsor the show, that would be awesome. I drink 1 K-cup a day. Anyway, I love the brewed coffee, but I don't like making brewed coffee for me because I have to make 6 cups of it. Well, I don't need 6 cups of coffee. I drink maybe a 1, And so I just feel like when I brew it, unless somebody's here drinking coffee with me, I don't want to brew it because I feel like it's wasting it. So I do K-cups. I know the plastics, microplastics, don't get me started, I know. But I went to Illy. But I will tell you right now, guys, if you go back to simple brewed coffee where you take the water and it goes over the top of the blah, 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 or even the old percolators, guys, they had coffee down to a science back then. And the shit we do today is not coffee. It really is. And even the K-cup thing really is a little bit of abusive, I think. But, what do I know? But Illy coffee is what I really enjoy. ILLY. It's, I think it's French. Or Italian. No, it's Italian. I'm Italian. Ooh, I'm fancy boy. It's not very much. It's about the same price as the Starbucks. So it's not like I'm, paying $30 for, 1 K-cup or something. But I really do enjoy the Illy. And have enjoyed that. Other people like the donut house one or the, Arabica beans or the Arabian Nights or whatever it is. But I just settled on that, simple coffee. And but anyway, that's my coffee story. I don't know why I went down that big path with you, but talking about coffee and how I got started. And then this is the coffee I drink now. Illy coffee, pretty simple. And I drink about less than 10 ounces a morning. So I don't know what that means or if that's good for me or bad for me. I took a test at the local free clinic for hepatitis today. I kicked butt, he says. I got 2 A's, a B, and a C. Well, see, when you overachieve, Kennedy, that's what happens. So... All right, so here we go. Looking at this. Okay, so these guys went over there, and they were going to do. See, here's the thing. This is where you see the lack of leadership. These little feckless, little limp-wristed boys, and I don't care if that sounds whatever. These little, wussies had to go and fly around to have a meeting to figure out what they're going to do about the fact that they can't fly planes in a couple weeks. They gotta get together and get their cabinet together and get some, caviar and salmon brought in from whatever. But I do not understand if nobody sees this as a lack of leadership movement. They see it as leadership. And this is why we do not produce anything in the way that we used to. We are not used to the men that guys, listen, I think Trump is still not as hard as he could be. And I don't think he's as hard and as good as he could be. And that's the truth, because I think we've gotten so soft that even his Democrat ways, like being a Democrat, seem like hard right Republican. But it's not. But these guys show you that they don't have leadership. But see, the reason Trump isn't able to do more is because we don't have men who are real leaders. We don't have women that understand real leadership and what it really means to be involved in those decisions. And we have men who are the same way and acting like they got to placate to everything. And so when you see these guys get together in their little coffee clutches and their little their little needlepoint clubs, and they do their book reviews, and they talk about doing this, and we're going to get together in 3 weeks, and we're getting short on oil. We at least got 6 weeks, so in 3 weeks we're going to have another meeting in the Caribbean for no good reason. That's why the world is going backwards. That's why we don't have the streets of gold that we really could have, because too many people kick the can down the road, don't take the responsibility, don't move in those positions of authority, don't go out there and try to make things happen. They just wait for the next meeting. And so we have the industry full of people who are waiting for the next meeting instead of just going, hey, I've got a half an hour, I'm going to do that. You know what? I may be the CEO, but I know that light bulb right there is pissing me off, so I'm going to go grab a ladder. I'm going to change it out real quick because I don't have meetings for 2 hours. That's called leadership. Well, you still talk to the guy about the fact that you did it, but you just get it done because you're tired of it when you get things going, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you're demoting yourself. That means you're just involved in getting things done. If you're taking things off of other people's plates that are getting things done, that are productive, then now you're part of the team and they're part of the team. So you did more. Okay. That's why you get paid more. That's why you get more satisfaction out of it. But we can't talk about it that way because, no, we got to get paid up front. No, I got to get my EBT card, and I got to get my state health care, and then I'll get involved in the economy. Then I'll get around to do it. No, I got to get an edge. No. Just go out there and do something. But see, these guys, these leaders here show you they have no leadership skills by going around and having meetings while their country is going to, use the exaggerated word, starve to death. Now, I will give it this, the timing of this being in the spring where maybe we don't use as much oil for heating of homes and other things like that. I mean, this might be a real coinkydink, but also there are people who are still being affected by this. There are people who they're shutting down, things because they only want to work in 3 or 4 days a week now to shut down on traffic. But these are guys who are going to have a meeting about it. While Trump said, hey, by the way, I went ahead and opened it up for you. What you guys doing you doing your thing over there? Well, I went ahead and opened it up. I went ahead and took my big manhood and drug it over there and said, this is what's happening, Jack. And you guys went and had a meeting about it? This is why we don't understand what leadership looks like, because the world is 99% of these kind of people, because people that are real leaders a lot of times don't want to get involved in fixing these jerks' messes. They'll go do their own thing. They'll go do a private something or other, or maybe they just may stay as an employee and never show you their leadership because it doesn't do any good, because the leaders aren't real leaders. And they're not willing to make the changes that he knows that are necessary. So he stays at that job and eventually goes and does his own thing. But those leaders don't rise, because in our society today, for whatever reason, we celebrate stupidity. We celebrate ignorance. We celebrate those that know the least. And I don't understand it. I thought I was just kind of getting in, like I was feeling like I was like in a little bit of weird world over here. Maybe I don't understand something. And I got people like this. We're going to have a meeting about doing this. But I'm sitting there like, why is this French president with his husband not being outed for what they are? No, they're celebrated for the weirdness of it. There's a whole bunch of people that want this to be cool. They want this to be a thing, and these two weirdos get to be at the top. And the problem is that those that are the leaders in Frenchy over there, those people, those French people that are real leaders, don't get involved because of these weirdos. And these weirdos are willing to do anything it takes to stay in power. And if that means either shutting the country down or killing you, that's nothing. That's not a problem. Shutting the global economy down because Trump was involved? Are you kidding me, guys? Trying to get in there and make that claw foot hold in there, that the discourse in America, and then all this flu stuff, and we're all going to die, and you guys run around and act like you guys are the heroes. See, the sad part of it is that in life, you have to let those that you love, you say, hey, here's the best information I have. Just like when I did the show during those times, when I'd come down here and then I'd go up there, I'd get done with my show, I'd be done right here at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, Trump be up there going, all right, here's what we're all doing. And I'm listening to this going, my God, what are they doing to these people? And that's why I started doing the daily update. Because I felt like I had to give people a little bit of a something to look at differently than the way it was being portrayed with the death count, with the outbreaks, with the school shutdowns, and the this, that, and the other thing, all this fear-mongering. But here's the thing. There may have been a lot of shots administered. There may be a lot of people dying because they wanted it, and they wanted it in the worst way. But there's a lot of people that woke up to the actual pharmaceutical industry and what it's truly doing to us. And maybe without having to maybe we had to break some eggs, right? Maybe it takes a few egg breakers to make an omelet, right? To get where you got to be. And maybe a lot of those people were people that were willing to sacrifice themselves anyway. They were going to do it no matter what. And they did show that. A lot of those people are still out there getting those. They're still getting that fart in the wind vaccine. There are people I have seen this calendar year at a CVS waiting for I was at the Walgreens waiting for them to get their COVID shot. They were getting a COVID shot and the flu shot. There's two of them. So guys, at the end of the day, when you saw that during the weakest time of our society, that those that had the least amount of authority and the least amount of ability were suddenly given this omnipotence to say, oh, you can't get in here, you shall not pass, oh, you have not donned yourself with the right medical injections and the right accoutrement across your face and breathing holes. And it got out of hand. But we don't celebrate the leaders. We don't celebrate the brilliance. If I go out and do stupid things and run my fingers over with the tractor and do all kinds of this and that, I'll get a bazillion views. I go out here and get some tannerite and start blowing stuff up and make army tunnels around my backyard. I get another billion views. I go out here and get my buddy to take the car, do off a ramp and do some weird stuff and go, I'll get another billion views. And why can't we all enjoy the clowns? But my problem is that on the other end of the spectrum, we are celebrating those that know the least as the geniuses, as the certified. Oh, no, he's a doctor. He's got a degree. He's got a sociology this. He's got a, by the way, Bill Nye the Science Guy is an engineer. I mean, it's like, can we just talk about that and then it's okay? Okay, cool. He's an engineer. But quit calling him a doctor. Quit trying to make it more than it is, right? I appreciate that he's an engineer. I think that most engineers are actually very creative and are able to bring lots of information and data points out and make them work for the average person. That's what they do. They like that crossover of brilliance, but also bringing it down as educational. But why don't we celebrate on the world instead of the Kenneth Copelands who go out and do their thing with their mega churches? Why aren't we celebrating those that are actually making a difference and an impact in our personal lives and allow us to see things differently so we find a better way? Isn't that where we should celebrate? Is that intelligence there? And not the Kardashians as being the fashion direction that we all want to go? I've never seen a woman change so many faces in all my life as those Kardashian chicks. I mean, their faces are going I mean, I don't know what lizard people are able to do, but obviously they're able to do a lot. I mean, it's crazy what they're doing. I know Madonna and her face. Oh, she does look like a lizard person. She looks like a praying mantis. Ooh, gosh, maybe she is. Anyway, and maybe the Men in Black thing is more real than we want to be, right? Is that the truth? The Men in Black thing is actually real? Where we do have aliens just walking around us? And then all of a sudden hey, Donald Folsom, good to see you, man. We're all of a sudden just going to be able to see. They're going to have to take off the little encoders that keeps maybe I'm Liz. Hey, I don't know. I mean, I think I'm just this. I don't know. I've broken things. I've had x-rays of me, I think. Me and Ryan, my business partner, I'd had to take an x-ray of my ribs and all that to see if I was still, how everything was connecting. So I've kind of, it's not that I had to go to a government hospital to get it, but, anyway, I thought I was seeing me. I walked right to the monitor right where he took it, and then we saw it. So anyway, I think I'm real. But how many of these people are the clones and the multiples of? And if you start watching some of the old movies, I've gotten into black and whites and really watching the pre-50s, pre-60s. I like up to about 60, and then behind there, I really see the lack of the MK Ultra in those, and I really do, and I really have enjoyed them. Anyway, I just lost where I was going to go with that whole thing. I apologize. Talking about MK Ultra, no, it's not MK Ultra. I like watching the old stuff. I can't believe I just lost that. All right. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Listen, guys, the leaderships that we have now, the people that are in Congress are there because they were popular, not because they're good at what they do. And that is the absolute truth of it. We have the American Idol version of Congress in a way that is really, really disturbing. That we do have them doing some one-off video, weird stuff, and all these other things. We're not celebrating leadership. Instead of being, the fact that people knew my intelligence and my background and everything they understood about me, instead of celebrating that, instead of taking, like, this dude's got, military background, his intelligence levels are here, and being celebrated, say, hey, I'd like to run for office, and like, man, this is the kind of guy who's going to see the big picture of this, who's going to understand. We want to make sure we have as many people like him going in there so that we can make sure we're moving. Yeah, we're going to support a guy like that. Instead, they took a battering ram to the front door. So the problem with it is that this is where, when we look at people like Nancy Pelosi, who is very clever, who is, very, the very shifty person, right? Like Adam Schiff, just like we have the senators. My problem is that when are we going to celebrate the brilliance of us, right? I mean, we wanted to act like Elon was somebody, and he's an intelligent individual, and he's very charismatic, and he does have a lot of things he's got on his plate, which, I mean, dude, I'd love to be a part of that. I'd love to be able to say, yeah, I got just billions of dollars, trillions of dollars of managing these things. And in my mind, I would just love to do that because that's the kind of stuff I did. $500 million projects. I had $500 million projects going at once. I didn't think it was a big deal. I enjoyed it. But see, I got into that kind of stuff where I was designing other projects, running those projects, managing my entire division of people that were under me. I enjoyed that. That was just so stimulating for me, right? But see, the problem is Elon is being torn apart because he's got 12 kids. Why? Who gives a crap? I'd love to have 12, 15, 20 kids out there. Why not? What's wrong with having kids? Isn't that the whole reason that we're all talking about, like, hey, they're here to wipe our butts soon? I mean, we're not reproducing in a way that it really kind of gets to the point where there's not enough on the bottom to support the top. And that can be terrifying. Oh, no, he's demonized for that. Oh, he's got multiple baby mamas. Well, we got multiple baby mama, daddy mamas, whatever's on EBT and Section 8 and all this other stuff. And they're celebrated. But he pays for all of his kids with his income. He just got, like, I don't know, $300 billion bonus or something. I think he has enough to cover some nannies and some babysitters or whatever he needs and some alimony. I'm sure he's got it figured out But do you see what I'm talking about? Like we got to know all that stuff about it. We got to worry about that when he's actually over here trying to do some things. And I don't agree with the Tesla. I think it's a side project. I think it was filling a hole that everybody thought they had to have it. And he actually patented it. He made it very profitable. By patenting the guidance system on Tesla is why Tesla is alive today. Listen to me, guys. He got the patent on the technology that uses the white, the mayonnaise, and the mustard, the yellow lines, dash lines, and then also GPS, and in a way with video camera recorders and image sensors. He made this blanket patent on that GPS. And that's why Tesla has been able to keep themselves alive, is because it is successful in that way. All the other GPSs, all the lane keeping ability stuff and all these other ones, they're having to build it without using cameras on the ground, cameras in the foreground, using radar. Like, he covered it all. And so the problem is that when that runs out, I think he's going to hydrogen anyway. But that's my disagreement with him as well. But hey, he's been brilliant because he found a way to make money at it. He cornered the market. That's where he got it. That's why he's doing what he does. And he's got a lot of government money behind him, guys. He got into that EV money. He got into that easy cash flow that was coming out of Barry. Uncle Barry started that whole thing. He really did, and he just took advantage of it. But now look at him. He's got all this other tunneling company, the satellites, whatever. I mean, come on, guys. You can't be mad at him, but we do. We don't celebrate him for the brilliance. The fact that we can take a satellite dish and be at the top of Pikes Peak and have the fastest internet on Earth with his satellites. I don't know. What did you do last week? I wasn't putting satellites up in the sky. Do you see where I'm talking about here? Where hey, Linda Millicamp, good to see you. Where that we just don't celebrate those brilliances. The strong people. Those that have done more with nothing. You know, I don't care about a kid who got to, play peewee football all the way through all this. I want to hear about the guy who came in, like the Philadelphia guy, who came in on a bet or something and suddenly became a Philadelphia football player for a couple of years and all that. And they made a story about him. I know they blew it up a little bit bigger, but here's the thing. That's what we should celebrate. We should celebrate those that are out there really doing it, not so much these guys who are just the French gay guy that has to go have a meeting about the Strait of Hormuz. I mean, you're that unaware? We're 6 weeks into this little thing, buddy. What are you talking about? You're going to have a meeting now? So anyway, I didn't mean to beat on a dead horse on that whole thing idea of what leadership really is, but that's the point of all this. Is that what we're seeing with, and excuse the phrase, Daddy Trump, the guy just acts like he's, just dad. And that's why I know that's what burns a lot of people who didn't have fathers. Now listen to me, I don't understand this. There are people who didn't have fathers. I didn't have a father. And the one thing in the world I wanted to be was really a good father and to really emulate what a father should be, right? But there are so many people that had a father and then rejected him for whatever reason, either the coaching of the mother or the family, whatever happened. It doesn't matter. But the problem is when Trump comes in and just acts like a dad and just says dad stuff. Like, hey, what are you doing over there? Why don't you fill up those big old ponds with water so you have that when there's a trash fire? Well, I don't need that water. Well, I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to come on by and come look at your needle collecting business and what you got going there. Hey, Gabby, what's going on over here? How come this is that? Oh, it's a federal thing. We can't get a permit. Hey, Bet, he said he can't get it. Oh, no, we're waiting on him. Oh, he can have it. Oh, it's already done. Okay, Gabby, turn the water on. Stop. That's what Dad does. He doesn't want to hear about it. He just wants to fix it. Let's get on. Don't care the reason. Here's the thing. You know what? Most dads don't really care the reason. They just want to get it on. Let's just go. Cool, man. I get it. I mean, things happen. Let's move on. Sometimes we want to dwell on it. Sometimes we want to come back and visit it. But most of the time, we really want to solve it. And that's what Trump does. Trump just acts like dad. He goes around the earth. Which, I mean, listen, guys. I mean, even 10 years ago when this guy was just doing this, I don't think I could have said that way, but I do mean it I do mean it that he just goes around Earth and acts like everybody's dad, including the Japanese prime minister, including the Saudi princes and the United Emirates and all the. He just walks around like he's like, "Hey, cool man, is this your garage? Oh, you got a Craftsman mower? Yeah, they don't make those anymore like they used to. That's good. Hey, you air up the front tires, they're low. Yeah, the one on the left, you can see it. Don't worry about it. Just get it done. By the way, you want some good gasoline? I got some good gasoline for sale. I don't know. You guys clean up your act. We might just play ball with you guys and do some data trading thing or something. I don't know. Why don't you bring some money over? We'll play some poker." And it's all it is just him just being the guy. Just being a guy. He actually is just, and that's what I appreciate about him. This is not a Trump pump here. I'm not trying to blow anybody, but he just is just a guy. He likes his stuff in gold leaf. I have wrought iron, and old wood tables. This is like 100 years old or whatever. I like this kind of stuff. This is my, But he likes everything with gold leaf on it, which I do appreciate. I get it, man. But that's just the way he wants it. I like I like a certain toilet paper. I like a certain paper towel. I like to fold my towels a certain way. Trump likes things with gold leaf and neckties. And that's his thing. You better show up with a necktie on. Don't show up with a pullover on, Zelensky, because Dad's going to say something to you, isn't he? Think about everything he's done and just think about almost like Archie Bunker, just being Dad, saying rude stuff, but loves you and will take you in and means the best and his family's the most. But he's a little more polished about it. But don't touch his family. Don't touch his country, right? And they go out of their way like an evil little stepchild, like a child that has not been disciplined and mommy never told him no. And they go around and they try to kill him. They try to destroy his family, destroy him. They try to take his money, try to take his reputation. And that's okay, right? Because Dad doesn't care. Because Dad doesn't, right? Even when the kids hurt you. You still love them. Anyway, sorry. But that's what it is. Crazy part is he still loves his country and believes, and I do believe in this, guys. Listen, I don't think he's perfect, guys. I don't think he's getting it right a lot. I think there's some things he needs to push harder on, and that's what I mean by not getting it right, is that he could go harder on. I really do. I just wish he would just go ahead. And we all did. 8 years ago, we wished he would go ahead. But he's still just trying. He's still showing up to the football game. He's showing up to graduation. He's showing up where he can when he's allowed. And when he walks through the building, he walks through like Dad walks through the building. And we need a lot more men like that, right? Men that act like men. Because they care. And it's honest and genuine. And even when the country kicks him in the ass, he still turns around and loves her back. Well, I don't know why I got so emotional about that. It's crazy. Anyway, get myself back together here. No, it's a real thing, guys. I think this guy just loves us so much. I don't get it. I went through a lot with my little ordeal. I ran out, and he has more zeros and more people than I do, but they ran me out. They got me all the way to zero and beyond negative. But he still sticks around. So anyway, I didn't mean to get a bit emotional about that. But guys, listen, understand what leadership looks like. Understand what people are really doing out there and what they really mean and where their selfishness comes out, right? A lot of people say, well, Trump is very selfish, but I don't know. It seems like I can't seem to find that part of it. And I hear a lot of stories, and I've been to his place, and I know the people who are around him, and I just don't hear about it. I know he wants things his way, but that doesn't make him selfish, right? He's just determined. And so anyway, all right, guys, remember 10%. Let me try that again. Remember the 10% we do for the neighbor community, city, county, state, the federal government. The more you do for them, the less they have to do for you. Learn how to be selfless, not so damn selfish. The world will be a far, far better place. Remember, hold the line, hold fast, do not give up, do not give in, we'll win. I promise to make promises I can't keep, guys. You've always been the answer out there. Remember the Constitution, that limits the government, but never limits you. Please understand that, guys. If you go in and know what your laws are, what your Constitution is, you become more powerful, you understand your authority, and you don't give away authority that does not belong to anyone else. And that's how our country is built, because it means you have to take responsibility. Good to see you, Vince. I appreciate you, buddy. All right, Linda Millicamp's here too. Maggie, Hope, Linda, Courtney, Allen, Kennedy, Eddie. Guys, it was good seeing everybody out there. Thank you so much for all you guys are doing. And yes, I do get a little wound up about this stuff because it is personal. It affected me personally. So when these stories are like this, it digs up the memories of what I had to go through. All right, guys, that's about it for me. I'm Jim Price, the Jim Price Show Daily Update. You guys will be good to each other out there, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye-bye.